Education Policy, NEP 2020. What are the salient features of NEP 2020? That's a very important thing in my opinion. Number one, changed role of teachers. See, I told you in my first session today, it is not just going to the classroom and simply discussing some issues. No. In the contemporary context and according to NEP 2020, changed role of teachers as learning facilitators and diagnosticians. This is a very important departure compared to earlier education policies. Earlier, friend, philosopher, guide. Now we add learning facilitator as well as diagnostician, just like what the doctor does when the patient goes to the doctor. He will diagnose the illness. Here, teachers are supposed to diagnose their level of understanding students, what are their difficulties in analyzing and then understanding the concepts. So for that, we talk about teacher as a diagnostician. It's a very important thing, in my opinion. Yes. Then focus more on learning aspect of students. See, teaching is one thing. Anybody can go and teach in a very meaningful way. But ultimately, what is important is how much students have understood. That is more important, in my opinion, rather than just teaching in your own style and simply coming out now. So we have to understand whether the students have understood the concept in a meaningful way. And then we talk about critical pedagogy. What is the meaning of critical pedagogy? Critical pedagogy is nothing but every student should question every situation. Why, how, when, kab, kyun, kaha. For example, animal sacrifice, human sacrifice, even today it is there. Now, why do we do this crude practices? Whether our education can make them understand and stop these things. So for this, we as teachers must make students to think. That's a very important thing. Just because it has been done by our elders, therefore we are doing it means meaningless. That is not fair. So that is another very important thing. And then any learning at any stage, it must be a joyful activity. It's a very important thing. Any learning by the students, it should have a joyful activity. By force, we cannot make students to study or think. We must make them enjoy learning. Actually, after my retirement, I was working in a very important project of Government of India, MHRD, at Regional Institute of Education, Mysore, early literacy program. I don't know whether you people have heard of this. Early literacy program. What is the meaning of early literacy program? Arambika Saksharate, literacy. In that, I have got a lot of new experience. When I was in service, that was a different experience. Here I learned so many things. I visited all the 4 southern states, including Telangana, 5 actually. Believe it or not, how things work when situation is different, happy situation. Learning must be a joyful activity at any stage. See, for example, higher education is also a joyful activity only. It is not just like school students. It is at a higher level. So how it has to be done? For example, we have to use ICT, information communication technology. So this is ICT is a very important thing. Then teacher pupil rapport at any level, that is very important. Then club activities, co-curricular activities, all these things needs to be practiced. Focus on innovations. It's a very important thing, in my opinion. No routine teaching. No. Routine teaching, okay, but what is important is there must be a focus on innovations. Then focus more on developing students' competitive personality. That's a very important thing. Then invoke local resource persons to help students to develop better academic scholarship. There are experts in your own mohalla, in your own area. Identify such persons and then help them. It's a very important thing, in my opinion. Then let us discuss about what is known as Academic Bank of Credit, ABC. This is something new. Let us try to understand this. Academic Bank of Credit, ABC. See, higher education institutions, irrespective of their accreditation, at ranking under the ambit of the Academic Bank of Credit, it must enable students to switch between institutions and multiple entries and also exits to and fro from the programs. So that we talk about Academic Bank of Credit. So this is another very important thing, in my opinion. So please remember, you must, including me, it applies to me also, proud to be a teacher. It's a very important thing. And remember, teaching is an intellectual activity. It is not simply reading something by heating potassium chloride with manganese dioxide, oxygen is liberated. Manganese dioxide acts as a catalytic agent. It is not just like that. It is an intelligent activity. Which one? Teaching. Be proud to be a teacher. Be competent and discharge duties with sincerity and commitment. It's a very important thing. And then all teachers at higher education, at all levels also, in particular higher education, availability, regularity, and punctuality. These are the three important things. That is called ARP. Availability, regularity, and then punctuality. Then automatically all teachers will appreciate that. That is another very important thing in my opinion. See, a teacher is expected to exhibit excellent teaching skills. This is a very important thing in my opinion. Teaching skills are crucial support for the student development. See, higher education or secondary education or elementary education, what is very important is teachers' actual commitment. You all agree with me, I know. For example, you take teacher, T-E-A-C-H-E-R, teacher. T. I will take each alphabet and then explain. T stands for temperament. T-E-A-C-H-E-R, teacher. First letter is, first alphabet is T. Teacher. T stands for temperament. Every teacher at any level, including higher education, the teacher must have proper temperament, should not get upset, show his peevish nature or angry. Those things should not be done. Then E. E stands for encourage. Every student must be encouraged by the teacher at all levels. And then A for attitude. Attitude of person is very, very important thing. Manobhavane. Without proper attitude, you cannot do any good work. Attitude is a very, very important thing. And then C for communication. So communication is very, very important in my opinion, especially at higher education. The complaint about higher education is many teachers, they don't take the classes. They simply say, you study on your own. That is not correct. So every teacher, because I used to teach master degree courses for several years. I'm not praising myself, I'm only telling. I was honest and my colleagues were also very honest, no doubt in it. So our communication must be meaningful. That's a very important thing. And then H for honest, you must be honest. And then E for you must be earnest in your approach. And R stands for research. Research is a must, especially the higher education. See, I have been interacting with participants of academic staff colleges, human resource development, it has changed, and now it is MMTC. Earlier, hardly one or two students attending the programs. They used to have the doctoral degree. All others, no doctoral degree. But now, one or two doesn't have doctoral degree. Everyone has doctoral degree. Everyone is a doctor. Now see the difference, how things are changing. And then, what is very important is, as a teacher at higher education, you have a special role to play. What is that special role? See, about teacher, there are certain things being told. A poor teacher tells, an average teacher explains, a good teacher demonstrates, and a great teacher inspires. The power of the teacher is very, very important in my opinion. I will give you two examples to make you to understand and appreciate. I am from Mysore actually. In Mysore, there is one Maharaja's College. During 1918 and 1920, Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, hello, who is talking? Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, he was the professor of philosophy at Maharaja's College, Mysore. 1920, to leave Mysore to Kolkata. Now it is Kolkata, at that time it is Calcutta, right? And then he was living in a place called Lakshmipuram. Even today, that house is there. And the students told Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, sir, we want to take you to railway station. You should cooperate with us. And professor said, yes. They took one Tanga cart. Even today, Tangas are there in Mysore city. If you come, you can see that. Horse used to drag that. It's very interesting. The students, what they did, they separated the horse from the cart and they just made that cart look very nice with flower buntings and other things. That particular day came, Radhakrishnan was made to sit inside the cart and then putting Mysore Maharaja's hat, that's also called cap. And then his luggage was kept and he was asking students, hey, where is the horse? And the students told, because of a lot of respect for Radhakrishnan, no, sir, we are the horses. Some 10 students, they dragged the cart, Tanga cart, from his Lakshmipuram house up to railway station. By that time, so many students assembled in railway station and they have given him, farewell. One more example I will tell, that is called power of the teacher. In 1994, for your information, tell me, who was the President of India in 1994? You don't remember. 1994, who was the President of India? Bahubali, do you remember?
APJ Abdul Kalam.
Dr. Shankar Dayal Sharma. Okay. He was the President of India. So, as part of his routine tours, he went to a place called Sultan of that particular place. 1 minute, I will tell you that name of that place. One second, please. I will tell you. He went to a place called, that is in, 1 second, let me remember that exact name of the place. Oman, Sultan of Oman, O-M-E-N, Oman. So actually in that country, as per the protocol, no king, no sultan, the highest position, will go to receive the VIPs, very important persons. But when Shankar Dayal Sharma flight landed in Oman airport, this gentleman, he went there, not only to the airport, he just entered the aircraft where Shankar Dayal Sharma was there. And then he only brought him down from the aircraft. Instead of chauffeur, he said, chauffeur, you please go. And King himself driven the car along with Shankar Dayal Sharma. And then meeting everything over, and afterwards Shankar Dayal Sharma returned to India. The press people, it seems, asked the Oman of that Sultan, sir, how you have actually did not bother about the protocol? How you went to airport and aircraft? Then do you know what response, what answer he has given? You will really wonder. He said, I did not go to airport because he is the president of India. No, I went there because he was my teacher. Then everyone was, actually they have taken aback. And he said, he was my teacher. That is why I went and received him. He studied in Pune, in Maharashtra, under the leadership of Shankar Dayal Sharma. So this is called the power of the teacher. It's a very important thing, in my opinion. So the teacher play a major role as far as education is concerned. So let me throw some more light as per your syllabi. Focus of higher education system in the 21st century. In the syllabus it is mentioned, transmitting knowledge and critical thinking, I have already explained. Role of higher education in social, cultural, spiritual, economic, political, and technological development. These things you can understand. Historical evidence, soft skills, and practical skills. Technology, integration, and lifelong learning. We talk about lifelong learning. LLL, that's a very important thing. See, what is the meaning of transmission of knowledge, transaction of knowledge, transformation of personality? As far as teaching is concerned, the first one is transmitting knowledge. See, for example, cinema, tape recorder, radio, this we technically called transmission of knowledge. In transmission of knowledge, you cannot talk to the person who speaks, because in the cinema theater, you cannot say anything because nobody listens. Only they see the film and then come back. This is called transmission. Then transaction. Where exactly transaction takes place? In the classroom. You have seen that, Even today, in the entire world, Indian classrooms are the best. Please remember this. Indian classrooms are the best. One teacher versus several students. In other universities I have seen, I have visited so many countries, they don't bother about the teacher. They will be simply turning the other side, and so many computers will be there in each classroom, and they will simply sit and study on their own. But in India, it is not like that. They listen to the teacher. Say, the Indian classroom situation is far, far better. And then transformation of personality. That is possible with beautiful question and answer techniques. The entire student's thinking is transformed. Actually, new education policy, NEP 2020, the main purpose of that is it should become a Vishwa Guru. world leader and show direction to every person, to everyone in the entire world. So that's the beauty. Of course, critical thinking I have already told you. See, there's a beautiful saying, why education is important. See, there is, of course, not now. There was one professor called Pinot, P-I-N-O-T, Pinot, sociology person. He says like this, every day, thousands of little barbarians are born. If they are not educated, if they are not socialized, they will going to overthrow the entire social system in the country. You see, beautiful. Pinot compares newly born children to barbarians. That's the reason why he says children must be properly socialized, properly educated. Then they will do the needful for the country as well as for themselves. It's a very important thing. All right. Social, cultural. See, we have to improve. Education should help us improve our cultural mood, cultural aspects. Meaningless traditions, meaningless cultural things needs to be taken out. That's what we are telling now. There are very good things about our traditions that you retain. Unnecessary expenditure, unnecessary spending money, all these things needs to be re-examined. That's a very important thing. Then lot of spiritual things we are able to understand and then discuss. Swami Harshananda Maharaj, he is no more now. He's a basically engineer, but brilliant fellow. He helped us to know many things about spiritual life. Technological development, of course, everyone knows that. How technology brings a change. The mood of the higher education is completely changed because of science and technology. Once again, I will repeat, this is my own statement. The mood of the higher education is successfully changed because of development in science and technology. This part you have to remember, dear students. Now, we talk about here, they have mentioned soft skills and hard skills. I would like to say certain things, not everything, a few things I will tell you. For example, can you give me an example for soft skills and also hard skills? Can anyone suggest one or two examples?
So interpersonal communication is a soft skill.
Very good. Understood. Congratulations to you. Everyone should clap for this lady. And then, what is hard skills? Example, computer programming. That's a hard skill. Unless you know the steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next question is, which is very important and which is easy to practice, soft skill or hard skill? Tell me.
Soft skills. Both are important, but soft skills are more important.
No, not that. Which one is easy to practice, difficult? Which is the one? Soft skill or hard skill? See, soft skills are very, very difficult to implement. Isn't it? For example, soft skill, I will tell you. writing an essay, or we talk about what is known as a beautiful lecture. It's very easy to say, I will lecture, but it is not that easy to practice. Hard skills. For example, computer programming. If you know the steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, very easy to implement it. So that's a important thing in my opinion, yes. But what example you have given, ma'am, that's correct. Then lifelong learning. Education is a lifelong learning, no doubt in it. Nobody should think, I have completed my master's degree, doctoral degree, I know everything means meaningless. Even with my 52 years of service, what all I have learned so far is 1%. I have to learn still 99%. By the time I will be no more. That's a different thing. Just I'm telling you. Okay. Then in the chapter 3rd in your syllabi, mission of higher education system. What should be the mission? Mission means actual programs. Vision means your viewpoints, how our university should be. When we talk about mission, actual practical work you have to do. Unless you do practical work, you cannot implement it. So that's what they have mentioned here. As far as teaching is concerned, rethinking essential and desirable qualification for the faculty. Of course, that is there. Teaching as human capital. Investment, products of higher education as responsible citizens, productivity, designing of the curriculum, outcome-based curriculum, OBC, outcome-based curriculum. See, whatever curriculum we frame, see, for example, NCERT, I have involved in the process of improving our curriculum, especially BSc Ed, BA Ed, then MSc Ed curriculum. We used to sit as group and through workshop mode, we used to improve the curriculum. So curriculum is a very important thing. Unless curriculum is good, you cannot implement the spirit of the curriculum. Actually, I am very happy to tell, since I am from NCERT, we not only simply teach, we also bring changes in the curriculum according to the changed circumstances in the country. That's a very important thing. Then we talk about research. What is research? Research. That is called research. Can anyone tell me through which language the word research has been derived? It is from French word, recherche. That is called research. That's a very important thing. Even now I am teaching NET students classes, that is UGC NET classes I go and teach, especially research only, I just concentrate more on that. So that's a very important research. In research, what is important? Identify the thrust areas. You see, you try to understand, dear friends, what type of research one should conduct? What should be the topics? What should be the areas? I have written a beautiful article on that. Socially relevant activities must be conducted. See, for example, I will tell you, out of 31 candidates, a few candidates worked on what is known as Navodaya Vidyalayas. Why we started Navodaya Vidyalayas? Can anyone tell me? Navodaya Vidyalayas have been started. I myself will answer. Navodaya Vidyalayas have been started to nurture the rural talents. See, this is very important. That's the thrust area. Rural talents must be appreciated and rural talents must be encouraged. So Navodaya Vidyalayas have been started like that. On the same basis, in Karnataka, Morarji Desai schools have been established. You understand? So when you take up the thirst area, very important thing is how to improve the rural students' talents. Earlier in the parliament, there was discussion, intelligentsia is available only in urban areas, not in rural areas like that. But a few MPs like me said, no, not only urban area, even in Pakka rural areas also, intellectuals are there, but we are not identifying them. And then an MP told the way I used to think, like this. If Muhammad doesn't go to mountain, mountain should go to Muhammad. So they started, because poor children from rural areas, because of poverty, they cannot go to cities to study. So what they did, they started Navodaya Vidyalayas in Pakka rural areas, everywhere throughout the country, right from topmost country, Jammu and Kashmir down to Kanyakumari, you will see. Of course, in Tamil Nadu, they have not implemented that, you leave it. In most of the rural areas, you will find this Navodaya Vidyalayas. So that's one of the important thirst areas, in my opinion. Yes. And then national priorities. We have to take up the national priorities. Can anyone tell me a national priority at present? Making every child think in the right direction. That is number one. And then, just like what we are doing in NCERT, we go to Pakka rural areas to know the students' intention, students' understanding of the subject matter. And in an intellectual way, we actually guide them, we help them. Just I want to tell this one example. You will really appreciate. Actually, nearby Delhi, a village area, a few teachers from NCERT, they went there and they wanted to teach certain things about mosquitoes, to the rural children. So what they did, they took the modern equipments, they made a film show to them. And then on the screen, on the screen, mosquitoes will look so big they look, And after showing that, one of the resource person asked a question to the students. You understood? Because in your area, a lot of problem as far as mosquitoes are concerned. But here you see, have you understood what we explained? One student got up and said, it seems, sir, we don't have this big size mosquitoes. In our place, mosquitoes are very small one like that. See, your technological innovation has conveyed in a wrong way to the rural children. That big size mosquitoes, they have shown on the screen. And they thought mosquitoes will be that big size. That's what I'm telling. So we must be very careful when we use technology, especially to the rural children, because their understanding is different. And then they told them, no, that has been filmed like that. Mosquitoes are small only, and how mosquitoes spread malaria, and how we have to take precautionary measures like that. So that's a very important thing. Why I told this is, when we convey ideas or our innovations, we must be doubly and triply careful. Otherwise, what we convey, it will go in the wrong direction. See, education, whether there is new policy or not, it must be made a relevant education. Education must be relevant to the needs of the country, needs of the locality, needs of the area where students stay. So this is a very important, in my opinion. All right. One more important thing we have to understand, as far as research is concerned, for your information, in research, socially relevant themes must be taken for study. Nobody should conduct the research just for the sake of conducting research. No. Whatever activities we plan, it must be relevant to the societal needs. That's a very, very important thing, in my opinion. Society must be benefited. Socially relevant activities needs to be done or practiced. That's a very important thing, in my opinion, yes. Socially relevant research topics must be taken. And then what is very important is, whatever research we do, we must link research with what is known as teaching. So teaching and research should go hand in hand, should go together. So that's a very important thing. Then sub-theme, fourth one in your syllabus, what they have mentioned here. Challenges for the higher education system. That's what they have mentioned. What are the challenges for the higher education system? I am seeing the syllabi and then talking to you, sir. Higher education, financial resources, entrepreneurship, financial autonomy, internal revenue generation, then creation of entrepreneurial university. This I have already explained. Encouraging university industry relationship. This is a very, very important thing. See, in most of the countries, education is linked with their industry. But in India, it is not like that. We give education, that's all. Searching for a job, it is up to you. That's what we say, delinking degrees from jobs. I have written an article on this also, delinking degrees from jobs. That's a very important thing. Whatever research we do, it must be relevant to the social needs of the country, number one. Number two, what is very important is, whatever research you do, it must ultimately help your industry generate jobs and make students to get benefit out of it. That's a very important thing. Simply degrees are one side. your industries are other side, there is no link. India, even today, there is not much link between industries and the education. Higher education system, in my opinion, I suggest this to the central government. Now you all know education is under concurrent list. Both central government or union government and then state government, they should work together and then help the students and also society to grow better. So what I'm trying to impress upon you people is financial support needs to be taken from the government concerned. Okay? That's a very important thing in my opinion, yes. So we have to encourage university industry relationship, digital universities and world-class universities, corporate society. You know what is the meaning of corporate society, I understand. And then technology transfer. These are all very, very important in the contemporary context of our country and of the entire world. Last one is sub-themes, globalization and internationalization. This is a very important thing. We have to provide a liberal education. What is the meaning of liberal education? According to students' need. See, education, there need not be a straight-jacketed system of education. On the other hand, education must be according to one's needs. Need-based education, that's a very important thing. Globalization. What do you mean by globalization? That which is used everywhere. For example, Coca-Cola example. That's a globalization. Everywhere. Or bottled water. Earlier it was not there everywhere. Now everywhere you will get water in the plastic bottles. So this is an example for globalization, where one particular idea is implemented throughout the world. That's a very important thing, yes. And then national and international levels, the concept of globalization must be understood. Academic and research practices, global standards, global citizenship. So these are the thing as far as education, that is higher education, and then what is known as society. Society needs to improve. Society needs to improve. For that, we have to do a lot of work and then see that, the benefits are reached everyone. It's a very important thing in my opinion. Then we talk about what is known as team building. I told you team. Together, everybody accomplishes more. See, I have touched upon in a brief way all the aspects of your syllabus. Now, all these things help us to understand team activities, team building. Now, what are the activities we can plan for team building? Number one, if you are interested, you can note down also. What is known as team teaching, TT. I have written a beautiful article on team teaching. That's a very important in my opinion. team teaching. See, a one person going to a classroom is, of course, nothing wrong in it. But what is more important is if 2 or 3 persons go and then explain the concepts, each one should take up a particular aspect and they should prepare well, then students are benefited well. So the team teaching is a very important thing. And then social activities. This is an important thing for team building. Social activities, there are plenty. You can have a drama troupe, you can have a musical troupe, you can have sports team. So this is a team. Then national values. Patriotism is an important national value. You must know how to appreciate patriotic feelings. You must have patriotic feelings. That too, as a leader, you must have patriotic feelings. You know how some people are unnecessarily talking nonsense in public. That's not correct. Okay. And then storytelling. That's a very important thing. For team activity, storytelling. Group of students sitting together. See, even today I am telling you, stories are the best activities to make children think and also to improve. And they will put lot of good questions for that particular story and they understand it better. Then quiz, very important thing. Then writing articles, developing friendship, that's also a team activity. Problem solving, there are many difficult problems. Students can come together instead of one person thinking, better if more than one, 3 or 4 persons sit together, they can solve the problem. And then dramatics, that they can do. That's a very important thing. Then seminars can be conducted. Organizing workshops, that's a very important thing. See, what do you mean by workshop? What is the difference between workshop and conferences or seminars? In workshop, please listen. In workshop, you bring out certain products, questions. For example, if you want to prepare question bank, that is possible through workshop mode. Because in NCERT, for 20 years, I was in charge of extension education and I conducted several workshops, several conferences, symposiums. All these things I did it. That's a very interesting thing. Then, when we talk about team activity, very important thing, especially at any level, even at the adult level, I am telling you, thrift. What do you mean by thrift? Any English professors here? Thrift. Thrift means, there is no time, I myself will explain. Thrift means saving money. It's a very important thing. Actually, in Karnataka, during J.H. Patel's chief ministership in Karnataka state, Govinda Gowda was the primary and secondary education minister. He was a very brilliant fellow. He is no more. Both of them are no more. He made one very interesting scheme that is called thrift scheme. Every primary school children every day should save 1 rupee. Thrift. So it's a very important thing. Thereby they will understand the value of money. You know, of course, that system is not there now. Then public speaking, very important thing. Actually, when you go back after this 8-day program, you conduct public speaking programs for your students. See, there are many talented persons. Because of lack of opportunities, they are not in a position to come out and speak. So you provide opportunities and they will do wonderful things. Public speaking, that's a very important thing. You know, this NEP, New Education Policy, has also given a lot of importance to social skills. That's a very important thing. Understand the feelings of others, how to extend moral support, financial support. Of course, financial support every time we cannot do. Moral support we can provide. And we must know how to do that. And then best classroom practices. There are many good teachers. For example, you yourself, most of you are very good teachers. Why most of? Everyone is a very good teacher. And then you people should help good classroom practices, not only in your college, but also going to other colleges and helping them. That's the different thing. And then how to ward off superficial, not superficial, superstitious activities. See, in India, even though we are living in 21st century, still right from Jammu and Kashmir down to Kanyakumari, we are seeing persons practicing all superstitious things. That is not good and that is not fair. That must be put an end to. For that, activities must be planned in a meaningful. About artificial intelligence. You all know about this. What is AI? Because of AI, so many things are created. Actually, if you see in this computer video clippings, because of AI, so many things are created. Horrible things. Actually, the other day I was seeing so many people are standing on a bridge. All of a sudden, the bridge collapses. Then I was wondering, is it real? And no, it is artificial intelligence technique, including your dance, your dress, and everything. In one sense, AI is good, especially our Prime Minister is very good at AI, and he was explaining in Australia the concept in a most beautiful way. I was really wondering. The pillars of NEP 2020, one is access, especially school education, everywhere it is there, and university education, access is being given to everyone. Equity, I told you. Quality is very important thing. Let me explain to you briefly what is quality. Any amount of reading any books, you will not get the correct picture and meaning of quality. I will tell you now with my rich experience. Quality is nothing but input output relationship. That is called quality. How I will tell you. You want to prepare a good coffee. Simple example. So you have to use good coffee powder plus good milk without adding water. And you should know how to and how much you have to boil the water, preparing the decoction, adding the milk plus whatever sugar you need. And then, you will get a clear. So if the inputs are good, definitely output, the taste of the coffee will be good. In the same way, preparing sambar. Another example I will give you. You have Delhi set radio and another set is Panasonic from Japan. Okay. You listen to music with Delhi set as well as with Japanese set, then what you will say, sir, this Japanese set, Panasonic is very good because I am listening in a very interesting way, whereas this one, Delhi set is not good. So here, whatever inputs they have used, that is meaningful and very good one. That is why the outcome is good. That is the reason why we say, when we talk about quality, we talk about what is known as input-output relationship. If the inputs are good, definitely output will be meaningful. This we have to understand. The quality of is a very important thing. And then we talk about certain programs called Diksha, D-I-K-S-H-A, Diksha, Digital Information for Knowledge sake. Then we talk about FLN, Foundational Literacy and Numeracy. So these are some of the things you have to understand and appreciate. Yes. And as per the syllabus, I have mentioned everything. Objectives of higher education in that. First and the foremost thing is, whether it is higher education or primary education, secondary education, all-round personality development, that's a very important thing. All-round personality development of students by providing quality education, knowledge-based education must be provided to them. And then what is very important is the role of NCERT, NAC, NCTE, then ICSSR, top level institutions in the country. You know, they must do more and more constructive work, keeping in mind the objectives of New Education Policy 2020. I told you, I showed this to all of you. This is a very important thing. National Policy on Education. It is about 65 pages. Yes.